Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Eve. I got the mask on, but since I'm up here by myself, I will just take it down. I'll put it up if somebody comes walking in. That's just how I do it. I don't make a big deal with the masks. I know some people do. I rather just wear it just to be safe and to make other people feel comfortable when I'm out in public, restaurant, movie theater, whatever, work. I just wanted to show you guys real quick. During this whole year, I worked in 3 different movie theaters. One of them was a drive-in. As you all know, I was laid off from my full-time job at the Jacob Burns Film Center, and I had the drive-in for about 4 months. I just left that, but now I'm here back at one of my old IMAX theaters, helping them out for about a month and a half until the theater itself closes permanently. They were planning to close anyway, but I'll just show you real quick. You have an IMAX film print. It's about 40 minutes. Going through a series of rollers right here, and it's going into this projector, and it's being projected right out there. Pretty cool, huh? And the sound is coming from over here, and it's synced with the film, unlike 35 millimeter where the soundtrack is on the film. So I'm showing a movie called Backyard Wilderness. Yeah, not bad. So I'm not going to be long, but since I'm here, I wanted to show you guys. You can stream movies at home whenever you want. It is pretty convenient. I won't lie, but as an old boss said to me, one of my most recent bosses said to me once, you can watch anything at home, Blu-ray, videotape, streaming, digital, but nobody at home can replicate a 35 millimeter film projection, or replicate an IMAX 70 millimeter film projection. And this is obviously a video in response to the news pertaining to the announcement yesterday with Warner Brothers and HBOMAX, which is huge news. This is game-changing news for the movie theater industry. We don't know what the full outcome of it will be, but it's definitely going to change things. I don't think movie theaters are going to disappear completely, but I do think they're going to be impacted by this, and you'll probably see movie theaters scale back. How many they have out there in the country, possibly the world, you'll just see them decrease, and the number of theaters won't be what it was before the lockdowns happened, before the pandemic hit. But this is something that I've been kind of talking to people about in the industry, recently, in the past several years. I've been doing this 20 years, but, within 7 years, we talk about how desperate the movie theaters have become with the introduction of 3D and, with the IMAX, the RPX. The IMAX really isn't desperation. That's been around for a while. But the theater chains that were replicating their own IMAX experience, which was, frankly, a little smaller. We go to AMC, they have their own little version of IMAX. Regal has their own little version of IMAX. I think another chain does. I know in Alamo started doing them. They call it the Big Show. So there's that. And then there's the dine-in theaters, and there's the reclining seats. All these things started popping up in the past several years. And then they started showing old films, a lot of retro shows. Some theaters would show 35 millimeter prints of old movies from the 80s and 90s. Some of them would be digital. They would do marathons, movie parties, all that stuff. And it just told me, I was like, man, their theaters are pretty desperate. So there's that, and then there's also how Disney has kind of monopolized the market in recent years with owning Lucasfilm and Marvel and Pixar, and then they bought all of 20th Century Fox. They own that library. And then you think about each studio has like a flagship movie. Universal has the Fast and the Furious films. Paramount has the Mission Impossible. Warner Brothers has the DC and the Christopher Nolan brand. Lionsgate has John Wick. Sony has Spider-Man, and now I think Jumanji, which is pretty big. But it's only like a handful full of stuff. It's not like the 90s and the 80s when I was growing up. You just had such a variety of movies. Even in the early 2000s, you had such a variety of movies just coming out. So many different genres and ideas and different filmmakers. But now it's all reduced to franchises. So that's like another form of desperation that this industry was in trouble, I feel. But then March of 2020 hit, and it changed the world forever. And the world is still sort of changing. But for movie theaters, the announcement yesterday, just created a longer road of, we don't know where we're going to end up in this industry. I don't know how things are going to be. A lot of people don't know. People can make guesses and speculation. What this tells me is that, if I can watch Warner Brothers tentpole first run films on HBOMAX the same day it comes out in theaters, whichever theaters are open, up until the end of 2021, that tells me right there that they're preparing for this to go on for a long time. And they'll see how it plays out on streaming. How many people will go to the movies to see a brand new first run feature versus just streaming it at home on HBO Max. But this will change the industry. I think movie theaters will reduce in numbers, and going to the movies might be a bit of a novelty. You'll have more of an option to either go to the movies or stream at home. We'll see how it plays out. But this is huge news, and it's game-changing news. So, but yeah, we'll tune in for more information. Now that Warner Brothers kind of released this, what was the term? The genie's out of the bottle. So we'll see what Disney does, and we'll see what Universal does. No Time to Die is a big, highly anticipated film. Everybody's waiting to see it. It keeps getting moved, like everything else. So, but if movie theaters are impacted, all that film projection, which is already, to be fair, has been dying out. Thankfully, Christopher Nolan and Tarantino, they keep it going. But you'll see less of that. Less of somebody upstairs working, getting paid to run movies. So it'll just be, you can do it yourself, straight to the consumer. It's going to be different. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll find out more about the actively changing Hollywood and changing movie theater industry. Bye.